Hey everybody, happy Sunday, December the 26th of 2021. Happy belated Christmas to any of those that celebrate. And here is what we did over the holiday weekend. I actually had a little bit of help from Mom and Mandy, and the three of us. We didn't quite finish in a day, but we got really close, so I will be very grateful for that because I will say I kind of underestimated how big this room is because it has absolutely so much chipboard in it. We had to take down the ceiling, and you can still see lots of different interesting kinds of paper on the ceiling. So I'll try and give you some close-ups. I'll also try and take some videos of that, photos and things. Still random things still hanging from the ceiling, but I really wanted to get as much of the dust out of here. And I need to also get the plastic out of the way because I have one of the cats that likes to mark on them, and it's a female, just so you know. They're all fixed, but she's a little jerk sometimes. So the other big thing that took us the majority of our work time that first day was all of the closet. This entire wall was nothing but closet. There were 3 closets in here. They had electrical, they had some really creative framing going on. They had actually been built onto each other over time. They were built on top of some teal green carpet, lovely. And we found a couple of mouse nests. They had a nice warm cozy spot at some point for quite a while, you can tell. But also really cool, able to open back up the door that was here. So there was a transom and a door that went out to what I think originally was a wraparound sleeping porch, and then had been converted for the majority of the lifetime of this house into 2 different rooms. So it's pretty neat to be able to actually see through there again and wander in and out. I'm really excited about that. Sadly, did find a few pieces of the original trim that goes around this, but they are pretty darn beat up because these guys did not care or respect the lumber. We'll do what we can with what we've got, and then of course I'll have to remake everything else. So kind of a bummer, but really grateful to have that up. I also have about 50% of the tack strips up, especially in this area. They were quite difficult, and there were quite a lot of them, of course. We actually did capitalize on the fact that the dumpster is in the driveway right here, and a good portion of it can actually be thrown out through the window this time. So super exciting. You just really kind of have to give it an extra push to aim it. Make sure you don't hit the roof because we want to try and preserve that. I don't need another repair to make there. But you can see, man, this one room almost filled up that dumpster. So we will see. I'm going to try and, of course, maximize the dumpster as much as I can. So I'll go and see what other things I can tear out, but feels really good to have that done. Other kind of nasty discoveries. There was a squirrel, I believe it is, that lived in this area. You can see lots of teeth and chewing marks. It doesn't appear to have been active in the recent past, but definitely camping out in there. So that's gross. And then above these windows, especially over in this corner, it was about 1 foot deep of nothing but just chewed up material that probably came from the attic. There were little bits of ribbon and lots of religious tracts and religious materials from around 1982. So I really hope that that rat found Jesus, but we cleaned all that out, so that feels really good. It probably actually did at some point act as a little bit of insulation because there's no insulation in any of this. Another interesting find though, above those particular windows, you can actually see a little crude chalk drawing in blue. I hope you can see that, of the original windows, which would have had the diamond panes at the top and then a single pane at the bottom. I just wish they had given me dimensions. That would have been really handy. Likewise, it'd be nice to have some dimensions on this window. These little ones, they would swing, so they were casement windows. If you're wondering, this is the original furniture that was in the house when my mom moved in. It's a bird's eye maple. There are a few more pieces. There's a mirror. that is safely on the floor in my office right now. And then there's a little stand that holds a towel or something. And that's just over here in the other room. So I just need to move it in. But there actually is a little bit of damage on one of the corner posts because this is the bed that my grandmother was taking downstairs when she fell down the stairs and broke her arm. So a little family history there. Other little shaky, concerning things. I don't know if you can see the outlet here, but there was an outlet that was for a major window unit that went here. You can actually see complete daylight through that. So not terribly safe. And then of course there's another outlet right next to it. Par for the course in this house, man. It's a little rough. And speaking of large window units, I did actually get the opportunity to run some measurements again, now that I have all of these obstructions out of the way. And the dimensions are 18 feet 4.5 inches this direction, and 21 feet 8.25 inches this direction. Of course, that will change a little bit because we do have a little bit of the slope on the floor. Likewise, you can also see that the ceiling sags, probably has always sagged, and we'll do some things to repair that, but some of it I will just leave. It is what it is. But if you're doing your math, that comes out to roughly 399 square feet. So a small apartment for a lot of people, or a big apartment depending on what city you're in. So then that means one of the next things is, what in the world am I going to do with all this space? I still have this idea of putting the sleeping area over here, so a bed, nightstands, all that good stuff, and then probably a seating area, kind of an activity area where I can age in place in this area. Maybe a few other things. We'll see, maybe some built-ins, I don't know, but I do need to make some decisions, and that's because I want to go ahead and start looking at where my outlets go. So you can see there are some outlets in this room. There's the switch, which I don't know how it controlled the fan and the light, but it did. And then another outlet here. There should have been one within 6 feet of that one. So an outlet on either side of the bed. And then they had an outlet in the closet. I don't know how I feel about that. And then we have these 2 outlets over here, followed by one in the floor, and one in the wall. This is actually one of the first ones that I swapped out when I first got the house, before I knew exactly how bad everything was. And most of the wiring wasn't even connected at that point. So it's probably quite the blessing. But anyways, I do want to go ahead and get maybe a little bit of lighting in here, maybe a few outlets, just to kind of get some of this up and running. And you can see again, lots of stuff to put in the dumpster still, but quite full. I'm also thinking about possibly maximizing what I've got and either completely finishing demolition in this hallway, which means I've got to put down plastic once again to get everything through the windows, or going downstairs and doing some demo down there. We'll see what happens, but let's just see what I get inspired to do. Other than that, it's getting a little bit dark, and I'm feeling great because it's a beautiful warm day. There's a nice gentle breeze, and I don't have a whole bunch of dust blowing around the house. So I'm going to go rinse off and celebrate this accomplishment. You guys take care. Have a really great rest of your weekend, and we'll talk soon.